I have gained a lot of knowledge and experience from the Color of Crime TLC classes. I have seen many connections between the three, and I have learned a lot of valuable information from each of these classes. Criminal Justice System class. In the very beginning, I remember learning how some of us are more privileged than others, privilege that we may or may not have known about. I was shocked after I did the privilege line at the beginning of the year. I remember opening my eyes and seeing how some of us were very far out and how others didn't move too much or not even at all. It's very interesting to see how the privilege line worked and how race, gender, and finances play a role in how much privilege you have and how we are all unique and come from different backgrounds. We also learned about many sad statistics, like how African Americans are more likely to get targeted for crimes and more likely to be arrested than whites for committing the same crime. Not only that, but I've also learned how the American criminal justice system works, from patrol officers to the Supreme Court. In the survey of the culture of African Americans class, I learned about how slavery shaped the country and its ongoing effects of racism and prejudices. Not only that, but I have learned about how African American traditions have played a major role in the United States and in our everyday lives. Some examples of African traditions that I wasn't aware about were things like clapping along to a song or just getting involved with the artist, and also how matriarchy was a common African tradition and how it was common for a period of time in the U.S. I have also learned about many important African American leaders that pushed back against society and prevailed in making change for what they believed in, such as Martin Luther King Jr., Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Booker T. Washington, and W.E.B. Du Bois. If it weren't for these civil rights activists, who knows what our society would look like today. In my View 100 class, I have gained lots of experience from reading the new Jim Crow book, individual service projects, and class trips. The new Jim Crow book changed my opinion a lot about certain issues. Reading the book with an open mind gave me a different perspective that I have never seen or heard about before in the criminal justice world. I really didn't know how big a deal mass incarceration was. I also didn't realize how much the criminal justice system treats people differently based on race, gender, and finances. One of my favorite things I participated in this semester was the Individual Service Learning Project. It gave me some valuable experiences for what it's like for the people and how I take a lot of what I have for granted. It was pretty cool to get back to the community every once in a while. A few friends and I volunteered serving food to the homeless at Willow Ministries. We served over 200 each time, and it was a valuable experience that I will never forget. The PACE field trip and project has also been a good informative experience as well. Planning a project to give back to the community so that former offenders can start a new life was a very eye-opening and positive experience. Overall, I have learned many things and have undergone many valuable experiences with the Color of Crimes TLC. My perspective has changed on many of today's important issues with the knowledge and experience I have obtained within these classes. It was really interesting to see how these three classes were connected in many ways, such as we learned about race and crime in J150, how race was invented in A150, and how it affects the real world in V100. That is one of many examples. The Color of Crime TLC gave me valuable experiences that I plan on taking with me throughout my whole educational life and in my career in the criminal justice world.